Hello everybody and welcome back to Kevin Plays Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012 Challenges. For today's challenge, it's a hard one-on-one challenge where I'm going to show you how to master your destiny. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright. So, Jace has 3 life, we have 4. Our first move should be to cast Index so we can better orchestrate Jace's demise. If we look at our hand, we have a Bloodbraid Elf, Lightning Elemental, which has haste. Bloodbraid Elf has Cascade. For those of you that don't know, Cascade, whenever you play it, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card with the converted mana cost less than the Cascaded spell, which would be less than 4, so 3, 2, 1, or 0. And then you get to play that card for free. It's actually a really good card. We have Windstorm that does X damage to each creature flying, Challenger's Outrage that does 4 damage to a creature and 2 damage to their controller, the Index that it was talking about, and an Explore. We have a Degen of Wishes who can't attack or block because it has Pacifism on it. It has Flying with 1 counter left on it, and you can pay 4 to remove the counter, reveal the top card of your library, and you can play it for free. If you don't, you have to exile it. That's relevant. We only have 2 islands right now though, so we actually can't play the Index and trigger that. But when I show you the Index, I'll show you that we'd well get some more islands. On our opponent's side of the field, he has a flying 3/4 that when it becomes a target of spell or ability, sacrifice it. If I can get over the other card. They have a Cloud Elemental, which is a 2/3 that can only block creatures with flying. And then a 4/4 flyer. Then, Jace also has the Leyline of Sanctity, which makes him have hexproof where we can't target him with spells or abilities. So we can't really target him just to burn him out with some spells, so ultimately we're going to have to get in there to attack him for the win. Now, in one of the previous ones I talked about how there were multiple ways to do it, so maybe there is multiple ways to do this because there is a Tranquility that would destroy all enchantments, which would essentially get rid of his enchantment and the pacifism, so there may be some combination to win with that, but I don't know about that one, and that won't be the one I'm going to be showing you today. The cards we have here, we have our island, we have a Coiling Oracle. When it comes into play, we get to reveal the top card. If it's a land, it goes into play, otherwise it goes into our hand, but it does come into play untapped, so we can get our other island that way. Then we have a Bogarden Hellkite, which is flash and flying. 5/5 when it comes into play, we do 5 damage divided as we choose. And Erratic Explosion. You could read the card. We get to choose a target a player, reveal cards from the top, and then it does damage. But like I said, since he has hexproof, then that isn't going to help us. And the Tranquility, like I said, we may be able to find a way to win with that, but that's not what we're doing today. So we're going to put both of these on the top first, which essentially puts them on the bottom. And we're going to be playing Bloodbraid Elf, which is going to come into the Coiling Oracle, which will put our island into play. So we got to get to that island. We need some way to draw to the island and still be able to attack. So we want to put, when we use the island to play the Degen, to put the Hellkite into play. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So the Hellkite will be the last card. So we'll select that one. Then the island, and then the Oracle that we're going to cascade into. So you may or may not have followed all that, but you'll see how it's going to work out. So we're going to play the Bloodbraid Elf first, leaving us with 3 lands. And it was awkward that it makes us use our mountain, because there may have been another way to do it if it didn't force us to use our mountain. But because the game wants to tap that way, that's what happens. So here comes the other creature that's going to come and play and get our island. So now we have enough lands to trigger to get our Bogarden Hellkite, because that's what we know our top card was. Now if he comes into play, we get to choose 5 damage divided as we choose, kind of like Infernal Titan does. And the first thing we want to do is do 1 damage to the creature that, when it becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. So that'll get rid of him. And then we're going to do the other 4 damage to the 4/4 flyer. And the reason we don't do it to the 2/3 flyer is because the 2/3 can only block creatures with flying. And we have a Bloodbraid Elf, which doesn't have flying but does have haste. This is going to kill the other 2, and since he's at 3, then we can now attack him with the Bloodbraid Elf to kill him and complete the challenge. So continue. And so that'll be the end of the challenge. You can check the annotations at the end for the playlist for all the challenges, as well as a link to the playlist of me playing against the other Planeswalkers. And I will see you all back here for the next challenge.